We wish we could have taken all of you with us to the social media summit, but the next best thing is this vlog we put together for you. Excuse the cold that I brought back from California. I hope you still enjoy it.
So Marci and I are on our way to the social media conference.
Yes, we're so excited to learn and bring it all to you guys.
And drink some wine in Napa, for sure. So follow along over the next 3 days because we're going to take you guys with us.
Palm trees mean we've made it. We ended up in Yountsville the first night. We had to cancel plans with friends because of the way travel worked out, but we ended up finding a really cute spot and had dinner at Bouchon, which was a lot of fun, a really nice vibe, and somewhere I've been wanting to try for a while now. This was our room at the Meritage Resort, which was just top-notch. I mean, part of a conference is where you spend it, and of course, me and Marci loved the view, and we started being goofballs right from the second we got there. This trip started out with this amazing hike in Napa that our friends put together. The views were incredible. We even saw some wild turkeys. Let me just say that Katie and Leslie put on the best group. We all just had such a chill time, and of course at the end all of us had to get a group shot just to commemorate what a great way it was to start this event.
Guys, this is a special episode of the podcast, and I am coming not alone. Guess who's here?
Hey guys!
We're reunited because Marci, you haven't been on the podcast
No,
for
I
the last little
haven't.
bit.
I've been MIA, but today we are in Napa at the Social Media Summit.
And so today's day one. It's actually only a half a day. We've only been to what, two
Just
sessions?
2 sessions, but we've learned so much. We have a lot of notes. We're really excited to share it all with you.
But here's what happens. Sometimes when we go back, we forget. They're giving us champagne in
Yeah.
the sessions. So we want to make sure that after each of the sessions, after a couple of them, we come out and we record this for you with some of our favorite takeaways so this can be really actionable.
Yes, so stay tuned.
All right, let's do it. So my first session was kind of special because my friend Erica Byram, which we used to work together for at Media Solutions, she's always been the expert on social media, and her session was mastering the art of scaling social media. So one of the things that she shared is that online searches for pet content with apartments.com has increased by 50%. So having more content where you're doing photo contests, you're asking for real pictures of real pets. I know we've been sharing this idea for years and years, but now the social channels make it so easy for people to actually visualize. And this is a way for you to curate content super easy where you're not having to get every single picture, but your residents are doing it for you. So that was one of the tips that I loved from Erica, super actionable.
So another point that I wanted to share with you guys from Erica's presentation was about repurposing content. Now we work really hard on everything that we put out there, and sometimes we don't get the eyes on it that we want to, so make sure that we're repurposing that content and not starting from scratch again. And something that I really enjoyed Erica sharing was that to even go back years with some content and repurpose it, reuse it. It's still great information, and you can, again, like I said, reuse it.
Erica also talked about engaging your teams and getting your teams to do user-generated content. So a lot of times our teams can be our biggest brand ambassadors, but giving them some direction. What type of content do we want to see from them? When do we need it? And if you get them to each do a little bit about an introduction or something specific to the job they do, then you can consistently have a Meet the Team Tuesday or whatever day that you decide to do it. You're not scrambling for that last minute content, and it shows different faces on your social platform, which is actually going to tie into the authenticity that a lot of our users are looking for. So stay tuned for the recap of our very next session.
Okay, Barb, so what points did you like from the Gen Z Are You Prepared seminar?
Okay, first of all, it's like that Gen Z is this upcoming renter, and it's not upcoming, like they're here, huge demographic, all about authenticity. So when we think that we're like being cool and appealing to them in like an ad-like way, they can read through it. So they want to hear from real people, real experiences, less filtered, less like polished, and they love the old ticker talker. And they love TikTok. So know your platforms, Instagram, TikTok, and apparently for that generation, Facebook and Pinterest are out. But listen guys, most of us are not just managing student housing communities or just communities that only have Gen Z. We're managing multi-generational communities. So you've got to know these tips. Got to make sure I'm not missing our exit. You got to know these tips, but figure out how to like weave it into your marketing, and it doesn't have to be exclusively that way. So what about you, Marci? What was your favorite point?
Okay, so I really loved learning that 91% of Gen Z want to actually talk to or chat with a current resident before making their decision on whether to move into your community. So with Gen Z, word of mouth is huge.
Okay guys, we're gonna have to take a break there because Marci and I are going in for a little massage after all that learning. I know, it's a rough job.
Someone has to do it.
Okay.
He's coming in right now. I literally was when she said he was coming in, I was like, no.
What happened?
You had him in too? You didn't? So I just... Are you joking? That was the worst. Are you serious? You had a woman and you didn't enjoy it? She burped. I thought she was gonna throw up. The whole time she was trying to not throw up. Why? She was like, had indigestion. Then I had to record your reaction to this, but I thought mine was terrible. No, Mark, was it good? It was good, but it was like, oh, mine was terrible. Okay. You want to not record this? We're done with it? Yes, we're done.
Okay, don't laugh, but at this point in the conference, I was feeling so inspired by everything that we were learning that I decided to try a get ready with me video. And clearly I'm not a professional, but here's how the finished product turned out. Hold on just a sec. Get ready with me for the last day of the social media summit. Of course, I've got to add a little bit of bounce to my hair. This dryer makes it super easy. This part took 6 minutes. Now I'm putting on my Saint makeup. It's so quick, one palette. I love it. Everything here takes less than 4 to 5 minutes at the max. And then look at how it looks in front of natural light. Love it. But I forgot a couple of things. Got to finish off the flyaways and then of course the lashes. So what I do is I take off all the glue and then I put it underneath my actual eyelash. I find that it sticks a little bit better and it looks a little more natural. This takes some practice, but once you get it, super easy in the morning. And there you go. Number 2 is done. Clamp them in, make sure they're ready to stay. There's the final product. So what do you think, guys? How did I do with my first Get Ready With Me videos? Should I do it again or is it time to retire?
Good morning, guys.
Hey guys, we are ready for day 2 of the social media summit.
So stay tuned. We're going to bring you all the details and all the things that you need to implement at your community. See you soon.
Bye. Hey guys, so I have quite a bit that I want to share from Jay Akuzno, and he actually had the keynote titled The Urge to Act, How to Stop Shouting into the Void and Getting Bigger Results with Content That Connects. So this whole keynote was about connection, about really getting good at telling stories, and getting really comfortable about actually telling your story. Because sometimes we're all about trying to sell, and in reality, people want to connect with you. So getting good and getting comfortable with actually doing some storytelling. Okay, so what does that mean? I'm talking about storytelling, but how do you do that as a community manager? Well, you can do that by actually being really comfortable and being really transparent about all of the relationships that you have behind the scenes. Think of like a community story. How can you tell that to your listener, to your prospect, to your current residents, to create that bond and that connection?
I love Jay's presentation also. He talked about how insightful content is good, but we're not just here to educate. People actually want to be impacted, and impactful content is what we're really going for. Marci talked about those stories, and guys, we have this advantage because we sell home. So think about all the stories that come into a home, all the details that go into building a home, all the people that make up a community, and there's ways that we can bring that to life. He said 2 phrases that I want all of us to remember. He said, content is nothing without connection. That's why you guys have to get comfortable showing up on camera, telling those stories, telling how much you love your job and the challenges, but the triumphs. That's what people connect to. We're just in an age where we're not connecting to brands without people. So if you guys are the best out there. The next thing he said, and this was my favorite, he said, don't be the best, be their favorite. And so I want to share a little example of that. I have been to places where there's a million communities on one road, and the one that is doing the best is not always the one that has the best amenity or the best like newest feature. It's the one that has the team that has figured out how to connect with their residents. People love people, and they're going to stay in a place. Yes, the product has to be there and the price has to be right, but when you're kind of competing and all those things are equal, one way that you can have that competitive advantage is by being their favorite, and that is going to come from just being empathetic, really loving on your residents, and showing how much you care. So Jay, thank you for giving us all that insight. That was so good. Well, I don't want to be partial, but Priyanka might have been my favorite session simply because it was so actionable. One of the things that I love is that all of her ideas, like yes, we're in an age of AI, but all of her ideas were about those human connections. And so two of the things that she said would impact your reputation that actually residents care about is, do you know my name? And the second one is, do you know my pet's name? And I think that is so huge. When I meet somebody that has maybe followed me on social and they ask me, how is Jax doing, my Doberman? It just makes me feel like they actually care about me. So I know that for many of you, we've got hundreds of people living in our communities. Maybe we can't remember everyone's name, but could we as a team, could we collectively get to know our residents and their pets? And I mean, it's easy with the pets because they're so stinking cute, but that was something that to me says, don't worry about AI, worry about you being that authentic person and connecting to the individual.
Okay, so I'm also gonna have to say, Priyanka, I loved her presentation, and the one that really resonated with me was the way you make me feel. So this example that she shared was of a community that actually got balloons, put them at their door, and it was in celebration of her daughter's graduation from high school. And it was such a like sweet, inexpensive, but like very caring way to show how much they care. And the fact that they know that about their residents is above and beyond. So it was that, and then she also mentioned a team member by name. Her name was Mara, and she actually helped her wrap presents for her kids for something that an event that they were going to. And again, it's just going above and beyond, creating that connection with your residents, and then really getting to know them, making them feel special. That really is going to be your creative edge.
Another tip that I absolutely loved was that one of the things that impacts your reputation is safety. And so I know we have been taught since day one, don't market or talk about safety. We cannot promise it, right? We don't want to get into a situation like that. Of course, the truck starts, but it's okay. So what I loved is the show, don't tell. And that was a theme in a lot of presentations, but when it came to the safety, what they were talking about was, we always think about safety in terms of crime, but safety can also be like, is your team there when the weather gets bad? So a couple of the ones that they like talked about by name were maintenance men that were there shoveling snow in the morning, or making sure that the driveways were safe to drive on. You don't have to say this place is safe, because obviously an accident could happen anywhere. But when you use your channels like social, email, your resident portal to showcase your team behind the scenes doing the things to keep a community safe, so to speak, it's all the prep work. It's that show, don't tell, and it actually matters. So I loved how practical that was, how to overstep something that maybe we don't want to put in writing or talk about, but we can actually showcase to make people feel that they are in a place where others care for them. Okay, Kenya Kelly, she presented short form video content marketing tools. And what was nice about hers is she really just emphasized you don't need this heavy equipment to create video content that can resonate. And hers is literally all about just have your camera, have good lighting, whether that's like a ring light or just natural lighting, and make sure that your volume and your sound is as best as it can be for the situation. And so that was such a great one because it just shows how you really can resonate with people through video, but a lot of us are feeling like we've got to be these professionals. She shared one app, CapCut, which I downloaded and I'm using. I use a couple of different ones, but I'm excited to hear this one. A lot of the templates are already done for you, which is super, super cool. And of course, those of you that are Sprout members, we have a ton of templates for you too, for your Reels and your TikToks. So you just shoot the video, add the photos, and then make it come to life through one of the templates.
Okay, so are you on TikTok? Because we actually had a whole keynote address about everything you need to know about TikTok. Matt and Alex did a really good job about sharing some stats that were, to me, mind-blowing. So I just wanted to share them with you too. There's an average daily consumption of TikTok for 1.5 hours. That's insane. And then 40% of the US uses TikTok as a search engine. And to me, it was mind-blowing that that's like surpassing Google now. So it's definitely something that it may go away, it may not, but in reality, while it's hot, definitely jump on it.
So to piggyback on what Marci said, the consumption is not actually being taken from other platforms, like they're not taking away from the time, it's actually coming from longer form content. So TikTok is actually competing against the Netflix, it's competing against things like that, which I think is just showing a shift in the marketplace. It shows that people want to consume short form content in bite-sized pieces. So whether TikTok goes away, there's always going to be an app that has that same style. So the quicker that we get able to integrate that into our marketing stack and we get comfortable, you guys know I'm always encouraging you, have that experimental mindset, try stuff, see what works, play around with it, and you can make it be something that becomes an impactful part of your marketing.
Okay, so for our last session that we attended, it was actually by Dale, and his topic was amplify your marketing impact, integrating multi-channel efforts without increasing your workload. And so he had a lot of nuggets of information, but I just want to share how he really was talking about making sure that you're using channels that actually matter for marketing. So whether that's Facebook, Instagram, whatever your channel is, you want to go full force on that. Also about customer acquisition, not traffic acquisition. Again, this whole conference has really honed in on the fact that we're looking for connection, not just traffic. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed some of our points, and we're so excited to head back home soon.
Sisters on the loose in Napa.
We're done. We had the best time at the summit, but now we're going to go check out some wineries.
Yeah, we've got a half a day. We've got a cool appointment. We'll take you guys with us for the off the book stuff, right?
Hello, we're a little windblown, but we are at our first vineyard. We're at Ashes and Diamonds.
Yeah. This side wants to go over here.
But we're going to show you everything that we try, and it's just so beautiful here. Look behind us. I cannot believe we're here. Yay! Okay, we are at Ashes and Diamonds.
Where?
Ashes and Diamonds. It is a vineyard here in Napa, and we have had the most delicious food. As you can see, we've like devoured everything, especially this butter. It's insane. Anyway, if you're ever in the area, definitely check out Ashes and Diamonds.
Convinced Marci to get another massage.
We have to have a better massage than the one that we had.
We couldn't end like this. We've had the best day, and I have to end with something just like so relaxing.
And also, if you are in Napa Valley, you have to go to the 2 wineries that we went to. We loved Ashes and Diamonds, and this one was Carneros. It was
Domaine
Domaine Carneros.
It's like being remodeled, but it was really fun.
Beautiful. So check it out.
Stay tuned. We'll give you all an update.
I'm gonna pop. Okay.
Here we go. Let's go. Round 2.
I'm happy to report that massage number 2 was incredible. In fact, the entire Napa trip was so amazing. Getting to spend time as sisters, brainstorming and just thinking of ideas together, connecting with friends we've had on the podcast, connecting with newer friends, which is just so cool, and friends we've had literally since the beginning of Sprout, and also friends that we made at AIM that we were so happy to see again. But the real reason I'm smiling is because we had so many people come up to us like this.
With Samantha, we're at the social media multifamily summit, right?
Yes.
And you just stopped us to share that you use our services. Tell me a little bit about it.
We love the social calendars. Fantastic. You guys know what's going on. We love that all of their stuff is compatible with Canva. We're able to, customize and do all the things. And it's just, you guys make it so easy. And it's just so, it's just made it so much easier on our marketing plan as a whole. To just be able to, once in a while, even just for ideas. Just taking some of your ideas and making them
And it's good for our team. You just made our day.
You guys, even though I've been doing this for 15 years, this kind of feedback never gets old. It makes the entire team and I so happy to hear the impact we're helping you make. Now, sadly, the most magical trip to Napa, California had to end, and we would do it again in a heartbeat. Now, if you guys follow us on social, you know that at the very end of our trip, things went really, really crazy. We had one of the most terrifying experiences ever. We stopped to refill our car at a gas station by the Oakland airport, and we were rearranging our luggage in the trunk when a man on a bicycle stopped us and said, "Ladies, this is a really bad area. You're about to get robbed." Immediately, we closed the trunk, Marci got in the passenger seat, and I went to finish pumping gas. But something about me made me turn and look at a man that was in a car parked opposite of me, and I just made eye contact with the guy in the passenger seat. The look in his eye just fell off, so I immediately pulled the pump, even though I wasn't done pumping, jumped in the car, and took off. The thing is, he followed, and I could immediately tell that this was a pursuit. They were following so close behind, I almost thought he was going to rear-end us. Once I got into the airport parking lot, I thought I was safe until I saw that he too was coming into that airport parking lot. I immediately made the decision not to park because these two guys were actually coming into the parking lot. So instead, I made a beeline straight for the exit, and Marci, with calm hands, handed me the credit card, and I was able to pay the ticket and immediately get out. As we made the corner, we could see that they were going up and down the aisles with their heads hanging out, looking for us. In the craziest moment, we made eye contact with these guys. They pointed at us and then they headed to the exit. So we made another loop around the parking lot. And in that time, it was just terrible timing. They were exiting as we were looping again. So we decided to go again one more time, and we found a police officer, pulled over, and explained to him what was happening. The whole ordeal was maybe 5 to 10 minutes, but it was crazy to actually be pursued by somebody that missed us not once, not twice, but was willing to go back a third time. What were they wanting to do? Were they going to carjack us? Were they going to do something worse? I'm so glad that this officer was able to come into our aid. Once these guys saw us talking to the officers, they sped away, and we were told that this is actually common at the Oakland airport. Guys, this was so scary, but Marci and I are determined to not let this dampen our experience. We had the best time together, and this has just made us be more aware, to be constantly aware of our surroundings. We refuse to end this on a sour note because this was the most incredible journey, and we're so thankful that we're safe and that we got to experience this incredible trip together. We hope that you feel like you've been a part of it. If you guys like this style of video, let us know because this was a lot of fun today. Alright guys, catch you guys in the next one.